Heads and Tails in full effect, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to it. Another episode where we sit down with legends, with people that represent the culture, that were there from inception, and coming to you live from our new home, M Studios in Newtown. As always, I'm not rolling solo. I've got my brother from another mother, mi compadre, out here, Wax, DJ Wax.
Hola. Shafire.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Second time in a new house.
In a new house. I love a new house.
Yeah.
Man,
Otherwise?
I'm all good, man. I'm all good. Love and shout outs to our brother DJ Mix.
Mixara, we love you, dog.
Lepara,
Lepara.
aka Principal.
La Pitori.
Brakop.
Mekent.
Yeah, man. Yeah, what a guy. What an episode.
Episode,
we got to hang out with him after the show, and we went partying with him as we always do.
Yeah.
And we really had a good time with the man.
Yes.
And
the amount of fun we had.
Yeah, man. Big love and shout outs to you.
Shout out to you, Mixara, man. We really appreciate you coming through.
Yeah, man.
We appreciate you coming through. We appreciate you opening up, and the amount of comments and feedback that we get from the people is that they really love you, man, and they love that you are real. Everybody seemed to say that this guy is real and is pure. You know, you've got a very pure soul, man. And yeah, thank you, man, for coming through. Hopefully on the next one, we'll be talking to Pineapple.
To Spice Pineapple. Listen, man, I think let's cut to the chase and get to our today's episode. Our guest today hails all the way from the west of Pretoria, Atteridgeville to be exact. The man he's made careers in my opinion. He's made a lot of DJs to be the DJs that they are because of his work. He's a super talented DJ, businessman. He's a father. He's a friend. An overall nice guy. Really liked him from the first day I laid eyes on him when I went to go buy records. Ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to bring to you the one, the only, DJ Kanunu in the building.
Another Lipara.
Lipara liling la Pitori. Kanunu. How are you, sir? Welcome to Heads and Tails, Baba.
Yo. As I walked in and I saw
Wax.
I was like, hey.
Yeah, man.
I remember when we met, it was Ilovo.
Yeah.
When we were opening Sugar Tracks.
Yes.
With DJ Mbuso.
With Mbuso.
Like it's Mbuso, ne?
Yeah. First time when I met Mbuso, I did dreadlocks.
But it's Benham, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Benham.
Yeah, Rishagadi dread.
Yeah, Rishagadi dread.
Yeah.
And I meet him Ben.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Shout out to DJ Mbuso.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, man. Yes. Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming through, man. Real name Thabo Machila.
Thabo Harold Machila.
Harold.
Oh, Harold.
Another Harold.
Yeah, Claude was Ibrahim.
Oh, so he calls you Ibrahim.
Yeah, he calls me Ibrahim.
Yeah. Born and raised in Atridgeville?
Yes, Old Start. That's what they call it. Next to Pelindaba High.
Pelindaba. I keep hearing of this name.
Pelindaba.
Yes.
Pelindaba, actually.
Yeah.
Pelindaba.
You're from the same hood as Bravini.
Yes.
Vinny Da Vinci.
Yes.
He's a little older than you. But did you know him from back then when you were young?
No.
You never knew him?
We were a little
I never
older.
knew him. Even I'll give you a funny story about Chris.
Yeah.
Christos.
Yeah.
So Christos, he used to own a record bar.
Yeah.
Records.
Groove Records in Orange Grove.
Yeah, in Orange Grove.
Yeah.
Before House Africa.
Yes.
Yeah, Level Prawil.
Yeah, the blue store, right?
Yeah. Asinzana Aparagine one.
Yeah, with the ponytail.
Or now Paragine one.
Yeah, I grew up with a child, or no, let's say two.
Yeah.
They want it dry, then Waboa.
Yeah.
So no
Yeah.
So now the funny thing is I never thought I'll meet them one day.
Yeah.
You understand? I never thought or little pop my band.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, Boma Pena, yeah. Because that's where they used to buy records. Oh, Boma Pena is from Atteridgeville as well, ne? Rest in peace to Boma Pena, eh?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, okay. What
Yeah.
Atteridgeville?
It's a lot of guys. Audrey and they used to hang around. There used to be a spot. I was trying to explain that with Chris how I didn't know about him.
Yeah.
So there's about a street away from my house.
Yeah.
There used to be a place called Kopraini. You know, back in the days there was
My place.
Kopraini,
Yeah.
right? Up the road, couple of streets, Neloko Kori, where Vinny used to go.
Oh, Prakori.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait, which
And-
core is this?
Yeah?
This
Not-
the
not the
coronation.
Not Kori the Groove, yeah.
Grey mustache,
The par.
Yeah.
The par, the main guy, yeah.
right? So my uncle used to stay Kastratasa Kori.
Yeah.
So during high school, you go Fridays.
Yeah.
You start Friday till Sunday.
Yeah.
Nearly the Stogie then.
Yeah.
You know, the Stogie made, I think they contributed a lot
To our culture.
to our culture. Because what they do is, and those DJs were getting paid well. Because they knew in 3 days, more to, on Monday, we are shopping. Maybe to the 60K. You understand? They made 60K then was a lot of money.
Oh, there's a lot, yeah.
You understand? For hosting Stogie, Mamang, and you understand? So they were well paid. That's why their collection is rich.
Yeah.
They're not like us. You go even the certain records that you never heard of. And what fascinated me is the style. They all have different tastes. You understand?
Yeah.
There were a lot. If you go, especially in Atridgeville,
Yeah.
there were like 5, 6 places. I'll name a few. There's a place called, and I know Bobby Muntaun likes to hang there.
Yeah.
Dibango.
Dibango.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he also had his different taste of sound, right? You ask Bradley.
DJ Bradley.
Bradley. So
Yes.
Shout out to
Shout out to
DJ
DJ
Bradley.
yeah,
Bradley.
he'll tell you, "Hi, now I used to go Terama."
Yeah.
So Terama also contributed a lot before all these places. So you go in, there's DZ, there's Pet 4,
Yeah,
Pet 4.
Pet 4,
Yes.
all those places. They all had different feel and different sound, and they bought from different places. So coming back to how I got to know about Chris, I met them after I moved out of Atridgeville.
Okay.
Not there,
Okay.
but they used to hang out with Brian. So Brian will go and buy stock. Go Chris, he was his best customer. Then on weekends,
By stock,
maybe-
you mean records,
Yeah,
music,
records.
right?
He was his best customer. Then Bobra Willie, they'll come in and maybe do an event.
Go
Yeah.
Brian.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
Kastok Fele Samamang.
Oh.
You understand? Then you hear this sound banging 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
It's Friday, Saturday,
Friday,
Sunday.
Saturday.
Yeah. And now the best part is when you were young, it's those danger boxes in Gozi.
Ingos, yeah.
We used to climb on top of those
To
and,
watch.
Yeah. To listen and to watch because you were not allowed to go into
To go
the-
there, yeah. Yeah, too, yeah.
Yeah. Then I saw him on this Stupusisi Kiwidu.
This white guy,
This
yeah.
white guy. And my timer used to come back and say, "Hey, Kustupunda utile
Liko.
Luko." I don't know Portuguese. And they will argue, sorry, with his friends and say, "Yeah, Ogara, hola Zulukwavela. Portuguese."
Yeah.
Oh, then they will argue about that. And my dad with his friends, they were used to go do club hopping.
Yeah.
And Hegel club hopping is a modern day
Yeah.
weed that you do how the clubbing.
Yeah.
Right. So now Bona, what they used to do is they'll go to Restata go bright.
Yeah.
Go Kori.
Yeah.
Ra deep six. Go to Bango. Then there's another one, but go Tabia. Then we'll come back at 6. You understand? And that planning is like this time.
Yeah.
With 3 o'clock in the
Yeah.
afternoon.
Yeah.
And you see him in the next day. And they will do it once a month because
Yeah.
now that's the time where this Toki
Yeah.
and Mamang is hosting. And now That's when the first time when I saw him, I was staying on the danger box, looking over at Lara. Then later you go home, then turn on your radio, get pop. You understand? The only person that I met too late was Vinny.
Okay.
Vinny, when I met him, was go Papazzo near Carousel. So by then I was DJing.
Okay.
I was DJing, and there was a guy Bargetabo from Hamaskra, Temba. He used to do events go Papazzo.
Okay.
So he invited, I mean, Bokala, you have Nasty Nev. That's where we met.
Okay.
Basically, a lot of guys. And the first day when I met him, I was sitting like Kelapaso. That area, it's Papazzo. So I was sitting down there, and I can't remember what was playing before him. And he walked up to me and said, Exe, who's it? I looked at him and said, Sharp. He said, Kimangula Lala. I think it was a friend of mine, Hippie. I said, no, Negi Hippie. I said, oh, why you took a good lala as a car? Kara, Agiz, Nugget Lali invent. There's the answer again, Nugget Lali today. So, I said, okay, Kopa Musore, Kitty. Then I said, oh, okay. Then I relayed the message. Then that's the first time. And someone said, do you know who's that guy? I said, nee, I guess I don't know. Give in interview. Oh, okay. Then I walked. Because when I started buying from House Afrika, I was buying from Benton.
Okay.
There was a colored guy that opened up a branch go Pretoria.
Yeah.
And by then I was buying from DJ Syndicate through my schoolmate, Barake JZD.
Oh,
you know,
right.
JZD with a ponytail.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Not
the other
the other JZD.
the other JZD.
Not the master JZD.
Yeah.
No, not the master DJ.
He's also from Pretoria West, ne?
No, he's from Lodium.
Lodium, yes, yeah. Lodium is in the west.
Yeah,
okay.
that's. I went to school in Lodium.
Okay.
Yeah. So we used to hang around together. And somebody was telling me a story yesterday. Hey, you remember JCD used to sell us, you know, all the pop records. I said, hey, Yang, Arne, you'll play Babaratak at the side. Wak, wak,
Yeah.
wak, 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 and play the pop record that side and mix it in. So you're young. You came to the show. You didn't know what. Then you play a cappella. Yeah, I want the song.
Yeah.
And we give you the pop one.
Yeah.
You think when you get home, what's that quack, 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 quack? It's not there.
Yeah.
No, you mix them in.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's how.
Sorry to interrupt. Apparently, Musa was famous for that as well. It's
Yeah.
so candy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You'd mix two songs together.
Yeah.
And because
make
the
you
sound
buy.
was so loud at the shop, you take that record and buy and take it home. But when you listen to it at home,
a
the sound
pop
quality is
record.
not the same as at the shop. And you can hear that this record is pop now.
Bam.
No, those are tricks that we use behind the counter.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes I used to come straight from a club. Because Fridays, we used to go to LS,
Yeah.
then Canalita. Then I had to open the shop the next day.
Yeah. And on Saturday.
And now go Malai. And this guy walks in. I need to make my sales pay.
Yeah.
And maybe during the week you got those 5-3 records selling, you know,
Adiva.
these ones they'll go to sale.
Yeah,
Oh,
single
yeah.
bean, yeah.
But there's some element that you like on that song.
You
That
just need
works.
someone who can buy it and play it.
Convince.
Yeah.
You push the needle just to that part.
No.
Yeah.
You start from the beginning.
Yeah.
And you go to that interesting part. You look at his eyes, and the guy, you bought into the record. Okay. Then the nice ones will come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
yeah.
No,
That's how we learn. I
trick,
guess.
trick
yeah.
of the trade.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't. I always say I can't be classified as a deep house DJ because I've come from a background of being in a record shop.
Mm.
You understand? And in a record shop, you can't be one genre driven. You have to cater for everyone that comes in.
Yeah.
Even kwaito, even
Hip
hop, even reggae, dance hall. You see? So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
So let's take a few steps back, ne?
Yeah.
Quite a lot of steps back. Not
yeah.
few, a lot of steps back, yeah.
So, you know, in Atteridgeville, because you've kind of painted a picture of what Atteridgeville was like, the type of people that it produced as well. You know, you produced megastars, you know, people that we look up to, you know, when it comes to DJing. Growing up at home, I mean, you kind of now, at time I was someone who was into nightlife.
Yes.
Yakopitor, right?
Yes.
And they were grooving around.
Yes.
Was your dad a collector of music, or at home, you know, is there some sort of music that was, you know, affiliated with anyone from your family members, or was it just in a home?
So you'll be shocked there.
Yeah.
My family is from a church background.
Right.
And my dad was the only one that broke the chain.
Oh, yeah.
Mailongore. There's a song, man. It's Korimurava.
Yes.
Tepa Tabe.
Yes.
Those were the vinyls that were
At home.
At home.
Yeah.
And you will bring in Bo Chico.
Yeah.
Brenda
The bubble gum, yeah.
You bring in all those. Who's Brooke Benton.
Yes.
Brooke Benton was my grandfather. We were danced to my grandfather. Dolly Parton and all those things.
Yeah.
Then from there we go church.
Right.
You see?
So when it's time to groove, time our again about Kibo Chico.
The house, yeah.
Yeah, he turned it upside down.
So when where does then your inspiration come from to say, because I mean obviously, you know, Ekaya, a lot of the, you know, you listen to the gospel and whatnot, but you know, you go left, you know. How does that happen? Is it from school? Is it just from walking and seeing people? How?
No, it's also like what I was saying. It's few houses from where I stayed. A place like O'Brien.
Yeah.
It's the influence of the noise.
The noise. And also, if I said, okay, they would say, hey, it's exam time, go to your uncle. Then Okrakuri on Moramushu Street.
You can't run away.
You can't run away. Yeah. Because the two guys indirectly contributed to where I ended up going musically. It's because they whether I go to my uncle's place, I'll hear different
sound. Yeah.
Then you go to to where I stayed, it's there.
Brian.
Yeah. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's now I started you switch on radio, you grab Bob.
Yeah. Yo, it's in your face. This thing is right here.
Yeah. And now when I started cassette. I started getting cassette.
Where you saying now, this is my collection. As a collector for yourself,
Then I got bored because now you end up big.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is where the song starts.
Yeah.
Then later, I think I wouldn't say primary. I would be lying because the primary is a lot of things. You don't know what is what. Then you go to high school. Then you meet friends. You start sharing music. Because me, I come from, actually, I'm a fine art student.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Okay. I used to draw flyers, not print.
Yeah.
We started doing this. When we were doing bashes.
Yeah.
I remember there was two clans. They used to call them something for the honey. Iggy.
Oh, Iggy. Shout out and rest in peace to Iggy Smalls, man. Yeah.
Iggy Smalls used to do something for the honeys. And I'll come with Batch's Bash.
Bash's Bash.
And I'll design the whole logo and everything, the flyer.
That's
goes
dope,
on the flyer.
man.
So, and
basically not flyer, poster,
A poster.
Poster.
Yeah, nearly poster.
You used to do that as well, right? Yeah.
and we'll use to you have a master copy.
Yeah.
A longer you go and print.
Yeah.
Say the photocopy.
You make your photocopy say 500.
Yeah.
And you plug
Post
them,
them
post them
everywhere.
more every danger box, shopping and all those. That's how we used to market our events.
Iggy was from Atteridgeville as well.
Yes.
Wow.
Really
Atteridgeville Mosipete, man.
No, he used to go you see Masterpieces Muripe.
Yeah.
The same street, just down, a bit down that side.
Oh. Where's his brother? Is he still around?
He is, but he doesn't want anything to do with music.
Ish.
I think it brings back a lot of memories.
Really trauma, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's understandable.
Wow.
I see you mentioning scale, right? And you're mentioning the exams and all that. So, what is it that they wanted you to become, Kohai? I mean, you ended up becoming a fine artist, but what is it that they wanted you to do, Kohai, when you finished school?
Kohai, they saw me as one of the Guanamurudi. Kind of.
I can't
So,
picture
what,
it.
were you going to become a pastor or a priest?
It's a lane of pastors from where I come from.
Oh, generational.
Yeah, generational.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kaba warera no.
Botlhoko. Asambo.
Guy. Okay. So you then start collecting music. Were you traveling alone, or did you have friends that you were clubbing together music, or were you just decided I'm going to do this by myself?
No, I started doing it by myself. Remember, for me, it was, I come from a background here. I was doing art.
Mm.
You understand? Painting, sculpture, all those things. So when I used to paint while playing music and doing all those things and listening to records, thing. You understand? Then later, no man, I should start collecting. Then got Tomangadi cassette, you listen.
Alone?
Yeah. You understand? Then I think, was it TUT, they used to call it Pretoria Tech back then. When I got there, when we had a fallout, some of my lecturers, because I'm very forward when it comes to my opinions. And
You
how I
don't take
wanna
things
do
at
this.
face
Yeah.
value, yeah.
So they wanted me to repeat one subject because I wanted to do graphics. So they told me, for you to do graphics, you have to pass all these subjects because first day you have to you're doing everything. You do sculpture, you do live drawing, you do painting, you do sketching and all those things. And now I had an issue with my sculpture lecturer, and he used to come from Soweto. Yeah, Arunyaka Daitopi. Get Bruno. Okay, that goes all on the west. Joking. So what happened is because I told him, by then I was active at school, at tertiary. I was doing athletics. I was doing cross country. I was doing middle distance.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, okay.
So now my schedule there clashed with his class in the fact that if I was starting training at 4 and his class started at 3, then I have to leave before
3:30.
Yeah, to make it for practice. So he had an issue with that. So he wanted me to repeat his class based on attendance. Correct. You can't fail me because of attendance or want me to repeat the class.
Am I passing or am I failing?
I passed.
Exactly. That's
Evaluation.
What I'm saying. Yeah.
I went through evaluation and I got 78. I won't forget. For sculpture. And he said, no, this guy is not going through because of attendance.
Wanted to teach you a lesson.
Caray. Never.
Could it be that maybe he saw that you were a very good fine artist and he was worried once you go graphic design, you will lose all of that? Because graphic design goes a little bit digital.
Yeah. Funny enough, when the evaluation, on the day of evaluation, the evaluators came to me and said, we love your work, love everything that you're doing. Unfortunately, your lecturer says he wants you to redo that class. We gave you 78, but he brought it down to 48. Correct. So attendance get 80 pila. While some was in the beginning or get it 30.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Then I should
Then
have
let her attend.
I should have done.
I would
at
have
least-
made a plan in terms of my
I was
attendance.
going to make him suffer. I said, okay, I can do this class and let him stay afterwards, or maybe put in an extra day. But because I'm not in charge, I can't be calling the shots.
Yeah.
Obo. And it wasn't my main subject. That's the thing. Then, during all this chaos that was happening, that's when that's when I was DJing go Compilations. So I used to do opening like you, Brawex.
Yeah.
Obo.
Yeah.
So that's when I met Lance. You remember Lance Sadie? The short white
Yes.
guy?
I remember Lance. Yeah.
That's the guy that gave birth to Sugar Tracks.
Oh.
Lance and
Oh, yeah.
Sheldon.
Yeah.
They came to Pretoria. Actually,
Oh.
they came specifically to listen to me playing and have a meeting with me.
Why?
Sure.
No, why? Did they actually heard of you or Nebongangwe from somewhere?
They
or-
heard of me, and basically, this is how the presentation was done for Sugar Tracks. It's Lance was working for House Africa,
Yeah.
so they had a fallout.
Yeah.
So he took whatever info and the structures that they were working under. And that, and I'm sure even, sorry, Tim.
So he took the blueprint.
Yeah.
Yes. And started Sugar Tracks with it.
Yeah.
He actually sold it to Joe Teron, the guy who was
Oh, Hustler Magazine. Yes.
Nudies.
Yes. Yeah.
So he sold it to him. So I didn't know that. So that day, I think two weekends after my evaluation, after that fallout at school,
Yeah.
then this guy comes up to me after playing and said, I actually drove all the way from Josie to come and meet you. So he told me the whole thing, and he was telling me about Busa. That's I didn't know of him. There's a guy in the Valtech. So you and him will be working in the shop. You understand? So by then, I mean, I had to make a decision to rather go back and redo this course or take the job. And I decided to take the job.
How does that conversation sit with your folks go high?
By then, remember at home, I came to a point where my grand passed on.
Yeah.
Actually, my father moved. He got a house called Mamelodi.
Yeah.
What's this place again? I forgot the name of the place, but as you drive in more Bava Zone, that's when it developed, basically in the early stages. So he went and got a house there. And my mom moved out long time ago. She got a house called Sosha.
Yeah.
You understand? So they separated.
Okay.
So I was left with my grandmother. So the other thing that I didn't like about this lecture of mine is you don't know what's happening at home, Baba. I can't be putting all these things on my grandmother's shoulders.
This is money we're talking about.
Yes, and I have to take responsibility of my life. That where to from here?
And when now you want to give me an extra year, which I'm supposed to pay for.
Yes, and I know who's gonna be paying for it. My grandmother can't be coughing out money for your ego and issues.
It's fair defense, though, you know?
You understand? And nobody would hear you then, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's why when Lance came up with this offer, I said, good shot.
So you left after you did 1 year, first year.
I was. You remember you do everything ka first year. Then second year you specialize.
You start specializing.
Yeah. So by then I wanted to do graphic, and this guy was a thorn because with graphics you can't be getting less than 70 for any subject, even your history of art. You understand? So now this guy was a thorn, and I had to make a decision, and I said, you know what, I'm not gonna deal with this guy for another year. Because if he wins this one, what's next? So I decided I'm going full time for this. And by then we had a crew like your BFR. You understand? In Orlando West.
Orlando West.
Yeah. Like your BFR. That's where I met China and Claude. Go garaging yambuso. Yeah. Mukauchu. Couchela has stories to tell.
Stories, my man. What Charles Webster used to sleep on the couch.
Yeah. So now, by then we had a crew a longer now. You know that crew. I wasn't always upfront, meaning the one in your face. Like even now, I don't think I've ever been that person that would say, I want to be in the front line.
That's true.
Or famous.
That's
about.
True.
I worry more about development skills. You understand? So I would say, if there's a lag there, why don't we invest time in that? Because collectively we can achieve more. Yeah. So now the group had a fallout. So they were starting to fight for records. Up till today, there's people that still have my records there. Mamang, because when I go Adimile, I'm taking this, you're never getting it back. You understand?
Yeah.
I remember my Gemini, it's
626.
No. The small one, the 32, was it 323?
Was it 323?
The small one, it didn't have light. It was a very small one.
Yeah.
There were very few. Before 626, there was a small one.
Yeah.
Right, Gemini.
Jeez.
Then it became part of the whole. Someone wanted that mixer. So, because it's a rau. Then, brah, I left that group for it. I'm not going to get scarred for the loads.
For records.
Yeah.
Who were part of those people in that crew?
Yo.
We don't want to know who had the Okapi. We just want to know the members.
The Okapi, I'm not going to tell you about the owner of the Okapi. So it was the guy called Dog.
Yeah.
Nakenaus and all beds.
Right.
Happy. Ahoy.
Yeah.
And you know that guy, Victor Spring from the Godfathers of House?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
One of those Matalas.
Oh.
Yeah. Not the one with Jamie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The other one.
Masia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Masia used to be one of my best customers. Go
How's Africa?
Not necessarily House Africa.
Sugar
from
Track.
Sugar Tracks, we moved on. Stuff like that. Victor.
Yeah.
Spring. You must ask Breakley about him. They
Yeah.
used to exchange records a lot.
Yeah.
There's a guy that used to scratch on house music.
Yeah.
You know soaking wet?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
Those are the guys that used to scratch on those records.
Yeah.
You see? So, and he's the only guy that used to own top 10s. No, top 100s. Yeah.
When nobody else had.
Yeah, nobody had. Because Renata Statile got this pioneer and only this new wine on the side.
Yes. Wine
You
on
know
the
that
side,
one? You wine.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You understand? That's how I started mixing. I remember getting my first mix. Got
Excited.
my first.
Did the belt drive?
Yeah. In a belt drive.
Yeah.
D2 da. You cue it, you get it right. You struggle getting a beat.
Yeah.
And I got it for the first time. And it's hip hop then.
Yeah.
That's where I started. Man.
Most
Yeah,
of the people,
all of us, I think,
most of the
yeah.
people,
Hey, I got it. I got that mix. So I was busy with my sketching and everything. Well, so I got the mix. After getting the mix, I was taking a break. So I got the mix, went back to my sketches. I'm excited. I can't focus now.
Yeah.
Get swear into it. Like, I
It's
got
very
it.
tight,
Yeah.
I went to the spasa shop. So I wanted to tell my friends, hey,
It's very
It's a remix.
I just got my first mix, gents.
Yeah.
But when I got there, I realized I'm gonna tell them they're not.
They won't get it.
Okay.
I got about Tava's DJ at the cassette.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
then I came back and I tried it again and I couldn't get it.
Hey, son.
I missed it
Eish.
completely. I got robala out here. I wanted to get it again.
Oopies.
Too busy. Making noise. Until my grandmother, switch off that thing. Switch off that thing. Hey, I went back to bed couple of so. But, you practice, and I eventually got it right. So, the crew broke up. So when I came to Soweto and met that guy, the BFR, I said, hey, I've been there.
Yeah.
Hey, sometimes it's nice, depending on who you're working with. But once it gets to that level where now, I could say, I had the right to say, hey, there's some mixaraga in my records. They're not part of your squabbles. But I was bound to get a scar, or we don't know what could have happened.
Yeah.
So I pulled out, and that's when I moved to Joburg.
Yeah.
I didn't even move to Joburg. I was taking a taxi from Pretoria to Illovo
Yeah.
every morning.
Yeah. Every day.
Yeah.
So at Sugar Tracks, it was you and Mbuso now who were the salespersons.
Yes.
Or was there anybody else?
No.
Just the two of you.
Yeah, these were two. We were actually four. It was Lance, Sheldon, me, and Mbuso.
Yeah.
Doing the sales.
So yeah, so you guys predominantly were on the deeper soulful stuff, and the other guys were doing
Anything? No.
the tech.
Actually, we were doing everything, me and Mbuso.
Yeah.
And
Buying as well, right?
yes, and territories. Because remember, there's 3 territories.
Yeah.
It's the US, UK,
Yeah.
Germany.
Germany, yeah.
Yeah.
So so you guys were buying solely, you and Buso?
Yes. We're placing orders.
Yeah. You now move. Look, we've skipped a couple of steps, but
Yeah.
it's okay. You're now working. You worked at Sugar Tracks. You've left a varsity. So now you're staying in Joburg.
I'm staying in Pretoria town.
It's traveling to Joburg
Or every day.
So what happened is my granny, and coming back, I haven't forgotten about that question that you asked about. Then how did it sit at home?
At home, yeah.
You understand? I'm still on that.
Yeah.
It's just that I just opened it.
Digressed a little bit. Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
Protein spicing.
Yeah.
Oh, pineapple.
Yeah.
Yeah, spicy pineapple. So back at home, my granny was against it. Remember, she was a church person.
Yeah.
And she actually wanted me to pursue art.
Oh.
You understand?
Okay.
She wanted me to pursue art. It's not something, that's what I'm saying. If you ask me, they went with the flow. With what I was passionate about.
You. Yeah, they were going to support
because
you.
Me, I started with art at a young age, and I specialized it with art from high school. Because remember, I went to Lodium because they offered that.
Okay.
They offered art as a subject.
As a subject, yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Of which sometimes I feel it could have been earlier. Or primary or from crash, because it starts at crash.
Yeah.
About a pad and different crayons. You start painting
And your picture looks
face green.
Yeah, it looks better than the other kids, and they here's talent here.
Yeah, it could have started there. I could have progressed. But anyway, we don't know where everything ends up.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
The journey continues as well. So at home, my grandmother didn't like this whole thing. In actual fact, I remember there was a point where, remember I told you where I saw Chris the first time. So,
Christos, yeah.
yeah, when I started DJing, I was actually at the same Red Stoop playing.
Go Brian.
Yeah, go Brian, when I was playing.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
That's after when I started working for Sugar Tracks.
For Sugar
then
Tracks, yeah.
I had to find a place called Kasi Odlala.
Mm.
Then I decided to choose this place because it's just down the road.
Yeah.
So I was playing there. Then in the middle of a set, everybody's rocking. My grandmother walks in. Gate. She walks in straight. And she doesn't even greet me. She goes to the owner.
Yeah.
Up till today, I don't know what happened. What was the conversation? You understand? That's how she was with the whole thing. She didn't want me to do that.
Yeah.
That's when I decided, let me move. And besides, I had 2 jobs then, right?
Okay.
I was at Sugar Tracks and I was gigging ko Club LS.
Oh, you were resident at Club
Yeah.
LS.
Oh, so it was paying. It was a paying gig.
I'll tell you, the paying part, it's something else. I think gigs paid more
Yeah.
Yeah.
Than
actual
residency.
residency and the job itself.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You understand? And I was staying with a friend. I will never forget him, Tabiso. Tabiso Maleka.
Yeah.
I will never forget him. There's a guy that said, hey, bruh, this thing of you coming back at night from Josie
To Atteridgeville.
no, you go from Josie to town, then from town, then connect to Atridgeville
Atteridgeville.
at night, and you chase it at 6.
Yeah.
Still as commuting.
You understand? He said, nah, Joe, you can stay with me
Na Blomagayen.
in town, next to Union Building, just across. Yabo. So I stayed with him for
So
quite some
you
time.
only had one taxi to take.
Yeah. And it saved me money. Then I could go home now and then. But my grandmother was very worried. And by then, it was me and my sister. You understand? But I looked at it as, man, you have to be responsible enough. You understand? If your sister is looking after your granny, you keep tabs on them. You understand?
Chip in when you need
Yeah.
to chip in. Sorry.
Yeah. So you were like Boma 18, 19, 20 at that time.
Yes. You understand?
So when you started Sugar Tracks, if you still remember, what year was it?
I think was
99? 2000?
no, was it 98?
98.
Yeah, 98, 99.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah, I think that's when Sugar Tracks was.
Yeah.
Ne?
Yeah. I suppose, I mean, we don't really know exactly.
Yeah, we don't know the
But
exact.
yeah, because round about
But it's
that
late
time.
90s, yeah.
So, but you're predominantly gigging Kopitori, right? When do you start now moving outside of Pretoria? Because from what you're telling me, your main gigs are Copra and Liko LS.
LS, yeah.
So those were the key areas. But like I was saying, when I met Vinny,
Yeah.
you started meeting promoters coming to LS
Yeah.
club to groove and feel the vibe.
Yeah.
And I was that person that would play his set and go home.
Oh, yeah, you didn't
yeah.
stay.
Yeah. So they will talk and say, hey,
There was
no,
a guy, there was a
yeah,
lighty
yeah,
here.
No. That guy that, and remember back then you used to play for 3 hours or so.
Yes.
You understand? You used to start R&B, hip hop, go, then change to mid-tempo.
Mid-tempo, yeah.
Then,
So your collection was quite a sizable amount of records.
Well, he worked at the record shop.
True.
So,
Yes.
and also, I mean, it worked for your advantage,
Yes.
obviously. Were you allowed to take stuff from Shopong with Shai and then bring them back?
like, who shy you mean?
Play them. Play, rock the party, and then bring them back to work.
Shy, you bring me to that story that I heard somewhere. Someone said, hey, I know Mbuso said that deliberately. Dama stole Dr. Rocket from my bag and gave it to Christos and Vinny to put on a compilation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
But I left it. I let the story slip.
Slide.
But to be quite honest, we are both ordering records.
Yeah.
And you know what happens when the stock comes in, right? We'll listen again and again to place some more orders. You understand? And actually, Mbila, I'll tell you, you missed that record.
Yeah.
You see, the other thing is, with this story, I was playing the original,
Oh, the slow hour.
the breakbeat one, because I was playing A.
Yeah. It's actually a dope.
Yeah. I love that. I love that mix. So now, I was playing that. Then later, whoever was playing Vino or Chris will play the other version.
Yeah.
You understand? And it makes sense.
Yeah, the Charles Webster remix.
Yes,
right?
then. So when this story came, I was laughing because I know him. Maybe it was a joke. Somebody took it serious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You understand? But I didn't steal the record to correct the whole story. Akayuzwa.
Yeah.
You understand?
So no Kanunu, you are at Sugar Tracks, and then I think Sugar Tracks dissolves, right?
Yeah.
It closes down.
It gets sold first,
Yeah.
right, to the new owners, right?
Yeah.
And that guy, or
Yeah. I forget his name. Yeah.
and then after that, Botlot now also came to work there. When Botlot came to work there, were you still there, or had you moved?
No, I've moved already. I was with. So what really happened there? It's so Lance, when he got remember he had the whole blueprint, right? So he found an investor, Joe, came in, and obviously he gave him projections of the whole business plan. So now, what happened is we didn't reach the numbers, and I'm putting myself as part of it because as a salesperson, we're supposed to have pushed, but it was too early for me to say we could have reached those numbers with 1 year in the industry. You understand? If we had like 2 or 3 more years, and you could see, you relate with where it went from there after he left and somebody took over, and to the level that Soul Candy is at. So it was a proven track record that if that guy could have stayed longer,
Sustain it.
yes, stayed longer in the business, or brought his business mentality and said, look, this is what we could fix and what we could improve on to get to this level. We could have been there. You understand? Or for me, my take was, I'm not willing to invest more into this idea. That's why he pulled out.
All right.
You
But you
understand?
already had another branch was it in Cape Town?
Cape Town.
Is it him?
I think there was another.
There was a
Sugar
record store in Cape Town. So this is a story that we hear, that there was another record store in Cape Town, but now
But Cape
from
Town was
moving,
DJ Syndicate already.
I don't know what the name is.
Yes.
But when they bought over Sugar Tracks to now become Soul Candy, they had to dissolve and bring some of the records in Cape Town and bring them to Jozi so that they could have one store now called Soul Candy.
But then maybe you had left by then.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I left with the same guy.
Yeah.
So that same guy took the same business idea, and I think he first went to Fresh,
Yeah.
DJ Fresh.
Yeah.
And Fresh said no
As an investor.
as an investor.
Yeah.
So basically, that was his business plan, and he was looking for investors all along just to expand.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So he went to Fresh, and Fresh said, I think he said no. Then because he was already with House Africa,
House
I
Africa,
think
yeah.
that's why he said no.
Yeah.
So now he took the same concept and sold it to Glenn.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes.
Mm.
Glenn bought into the idea, and it was called
Exquisite.
Joint.
Exquisite in Pretoria.
Yeah, in what's it, Semi-Mark Square.
Yes.
So, because for me, it's because of commuting, going back and forth, and and it's still early stages.
Yeah.
For me, it made sense to go to Pretoria.
Mm.
I didn't leave because of taking sides.
Mm.
You understand? For
You
me,
left because of convenience.
yes, because I could rebuild, and everything was very close. It's you save money on transport,
Yeah.
and you could focus on other building yourself
Within your space. Yeah.
Yes, it's the shop was there, Kasi, and that's when now another part that took over was Now, LS closed,
Yeah.
shut down.
Yeah.
Then we moved to Stelland, where it became Carnalita.
Carnalita, yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So for me, it made sense. Business sense for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
For my side. Because
Yes.
remember, in the industry, you also have to bring your me element in everything that you do. You understand? It's not, you see, it's two things. It's not what's in it for me. It's
Yeah.
the business side.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where I felt, let me go back and restructure and rebuild what I want to achieve. You understand?
So you moved to Exquisite.
Yes.
Oh, good. You know, I'll be honest. That's the one record shop
Yeah,
I
same.
never
Same,
got
yeah.
to visit. I heard of it, but I
Yeah.
never went to Exquisite Records.
But you see, I always say it's if you take a step back and you look at all these three record shops that we're talking about, they more or less the same. Look, it's who's ordering. You understand? Because the suppliers were now starting to look the same. Remember, it's the same guy that took the blueprint from here and took it there.
To
And
Sugar
he's
Tracks, now he's taking
yeah.
it to Exquisite. Yeah, makes
You
sense.
understand? For me, I looked at it and said, okay, listen, it depends who. It boils down to hearing. Like I say, if you miss the song, someone will pick it up.
We'll pick it up.
That's where I think we started being competitive. Now looking for new supplies, looking for new guys. Now, like I was saying earlier on, it's for me, we should be a universal musical dance capital, South Africa, as we are, because we able to bring in all facets of sound.
Yeah.
Not
Especially back then.
Yes,
because
back
remember, we had mid tempo.
Yes.
And then we had soulful house. And we had deep house. We had tribal house.
Yeah.
but they were not labeled. They were all
Yeah.
house.
They were all house, yes.
That's why I'm saying I'm using the term dance.
Yeah.
Because now if you start saying house, that, you're classifying it. It's the same as people will say now, hey, get 3-step and no. But there was 2-step.
Yeah.
Before
Two
that.
There was
step.
2-step.
Yes. Yes.
And there is still 2-step. But nobody knows about it. And we use the term Afro house. It was there before. You remember the Africanism, the box pack.
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
And it was, for me, it's something that it's still happening till today, where people from overseas, they come here, they study how we live, how we do things, and they go back, they research. Then they go back and give you a package of something that you have in your background.
Inherently at home.
If you go and take that box pack, there were few, limited. I think you can go all over SA, right? And you'll find 20 copies, 20 box sets.
Yeah.
It was expensive then. So only a few had it. And they started bringing them out as singles.
Yeah.
Understand? So that box pack had everything. If it had your Afrotech, it had Afro House, it had funk, it had electro.
Yeah.
You remember the song Do It?
Yes.
You can do it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gregory.
Yeah.
Then a lot of people, they don't know that side of Gregory. The funk side. Because there was no drums.
Yeah. Thina simazi ngedrum.
Yeah, there was no drums there. It was a really funky song. So that's what I'm saying. I looked at things in that manner. And I come from a background a record shop where you should also always be flexible. Not be attached to one genre.
Yeah. Because you're in business, you're trying to make sales.
No, you need to.
Even as the DJ
Yes,
yourself, right?
yes.
Which is what Miggs was saying the last time, remember?
You can't be struck. Like now we're running a DJ school. I'm with Chris at this academy. So that's what we're trying to teach guys. It's at least do 3 genres.
Yeah.
at least take up 3.
Mm.
Yeah, we know you love Afro.
Deep house or whatever.
Or deep house. But why don't you try 3? For in case, definitely, one of the genres that brought you here will fade.
Yeah. Or you
Will
could find
fade.
it is oversaturated.
Yes.
There's no space for you.
You can't penetrate.
Or, and that's what I normally say to the students is, I don't want to lie to you, said you'll make it big because you came here. But for you, the only opportunity that you have is if you can place yourself as an opening DJ. And that's how, that's where I started.
Many of us,
Most of us started there.
That's where I started. And I can't tell you something that I don't have experience of. It's, Vin and Chris were already making waves, and they've been long. The one was playing in Gemini, used to be snuck in without knowing, but hey, not that was some move. If security crowd
Yeah, in Kak.
you are no,
But
Yeah,
Yeah.
then you sat there the whole night. Doof, goof, 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 goof. You understand? That's how I got into, further into the industry, understanding sound. What's the sound? Who's the artist? Who's the titles and all those things.
And so your song, your first, I don't know whether was it your first single ever or what. Khonali track in African Shibeen. Was it Shibeen African or African Shibeen?
African Shabin.
African Shibeen.
It was based on all this.
What
we're talking
genre was
about.
that?
It was more jazzy
Oh yeah.
because I remember there was this guy that used to play Libu bass. You remember bass? Makwale na badlala mo
BOP.
Gizol. BOP.
BOP.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
But the boy.
Yes.
The guitarist.
Yes.
Yeah.
From Hamaskra.
Yes.
He's from Hammanskraal.
That guy, man, yes.
Boy.
That guy's from Hammanskraal.
Yeah, boy. Yes. That would be.
So you had him on your song?
Yes. I did that song with him.
Okay.
nice.
Was it your first ever
Single.
And then it went to someone else's compilation?
No, it was
Your compilation?
No, we're doing Mzansi House,
Zanzi
Oh.
House.
where you had everybody was on there.
You know that compilation, guys. Let's be honest. I think that's when I think people started taking South African house music seriously,
Yeah.
because they went across board. It wasn't just
One genre.
one genre. It was a 3-pack,
Yes.
four or three-pack, right? Compilation.
Yeah, it was
compilation.
a 3-pack.
Yeah, 3-pack compilation.
Yeah.
And they went across board. I mean, Tulanis had their music there, Bumbuso had their
Octave.
music. Everyone had their music there.
You had what's his name? Bruce.
Yeah, Sibitlo, right?
Yeah, you had
Shout out to
Fat-
Bruce.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you had Fat Cook.
Yeah.
And Maut.
Yeah.
You had everybody on there. You had Fresh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was Glenn on it? No.
It should have, because it was very inclusive. That's the
Yes.
one thing I liked about it. It was very inclusive. It wasn't like Sizo Yenza Long.
Yeah.
Anybody who was producing, the idea was, let's try and incorporate them into this pack and let's expose
And
this
actually,
sound.
it was DJs turning producers at some point.
That's it.
Because I remember, Ndala was never.
Yeah.
He used to do, he used to do DJs at work.
DJs at work.
You understand?
Yeah,
And there was he. This is the first time that he did his own track.
Yes. Yeah, on his own on that compilation,
Yes,
right?
he had his own track there.
Yeah.
Oh, not
We
with
love
Chris.
Not
house
with
music.
Chris.
That's
Yeah,
a song.
Ah, nice, man.
But how do you move? How did you move to House Africa Records?
So it's that song again.
Yeah.
You see, that's when I said the story of Dr. Rocket.
Yeah.
I wasn't at Sugar Tracks.
Yeah.
I was at Exquisite
Exquisite.
when we did that comp. My first compilation,
Yeah.
because I did the slower version.
Is that the
original.
House Africa one? Which one was your first? Or
No,
was it mid tempo?
Wicked Sounds.
Wicked Sound.
yeah.
Wicked Sounds mid tempo.
That's mid tempo.
The
Yeah.
green cover, ne?
Yes. And you see now people talk about lounges, because that song, if you listen to it, it's not your mid tempo. It's very loungy. The original.
Yeah.
Kavi Delma, I think was it Kavi Delma mix or something like that.
Yeah.
The original one.
Yeah.
I took that song and it was my first track. And I had that other one, I called it Breezing. They're both on the same tip. And I remember I struggled to transition from, from those loungy sounds into your more mid-tempo stuff.
Yeah.
But I managed with it. I managed.
And you guys used to actually mix it live, yeah?
Yes. No, that compilation was mixed live at Club Canalita.
At the club.
Jeez,
At the
guys.
club.
During a gig?
No.
Oh.
At night. I remember I went to the shop the day of mix. I said, yeah, tomorrow you're mixing your album. I said, okay. That's after licensing.
Yeah.
You have to have
Of
all
course,
the rights.
yeah, they clear them, yeah.
And people, they didn't understand. Overseas, they didn't understand. Why do you want to license my song and play it on the wrong speed? You understand? And to me, that's where the creativity part came in. Is we saw creative Mumzanzi that we don't leave anything for waste. Because remember, those were speed garage songs.
Yeah.
They were
It didn't matter.
they didn't matter. It's like 128, 130 speed. But if you slow it down, you actually get something else. It's the groovy part of it is when it's slow.
True.
And
Tracks that stand out for me: 187 Lockdown and 99 Rip
Yeah.
Groove.
The Rip Groove.
What we did to those tracks, guys.
even Montana,
Yeah.
this is the trumpet.
The
man.
trumpet, yeah.
Those three, if you listen to them at the original speed,
Yeah.
it's like, now what drugs are we selling?
Yeah. And all the fresh fruit recordings, tracks.
All of
And
If you didn't play
Peppermint.
them as mid tempos,
No,
They wouldn't have made those.
even Peppermint.
yeah,
Those two
Peppermint,
labels.
yeah.
Peppermint Jam, everything that they did was fast.
Yeah,
Even Defected at some point.
Yeah.
It was like that.
yeah.
So we actually, I think maybe they were testing the market when they're sending those promos to us, and we couldn't place orders. And after turning them to the tempo that fits the South African market, that's when sales started flowing.
But who is responsible to actually think of that? To actually want to play it at the slow
At the
tempo?
slower tempo.
To me, I would say there's a lot of guys because they start to, because remember there were shops that were selling that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Mental Group Butulan.
Mental Groove, yes.
Yeah, Mental Group what's the other one?
In the West End.
Yeah.
Extreme Records. Yeah.
Yeah. And Buso, like, he used to go there
Yeah.
a lot. Le Michael G.
Yes.
Those
Shout
are the
out to
guys.
Michael G, man.
Yeah, that guy is also one of the guys that I think he's got the biggest collection of
Records, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
him and Brapesi,
Yeah.
the one that's working with Tulani now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those guys,
Is that the Ndlovu guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ndlovu.
Mr. Glove, shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to Frank. Yeah.
So those two, for me, in the whole of Southern Hemisphere, those are the guys with the biggest collection.
I'm sure DJ Chalk would say no to that. You'd probably want to be included in
Yeah,
that list.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But I get what you're saying. Yeah.
For me, because I don't know, I know Chalk. I knew him actually. So may his soul rest in peace. But
Yeah.
there was certain sound that he wasn't willing to compromise. I knew his.
But he did say that he was a commercial DJ.
Yeah,
He
he
just
did
wanted
say.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those two were not like that.
Yeah. They took
a little bit
everything.
more
They took-
expensive. Yeah.
They is that guy that you called him. Hey, the shipment is here. Order immediately on the day, or he will actually listen to everything. And what I liked about them is they didn't go to one shop. They will make sure hop. That's why I say, for me, it's those guys have the biggest collection of them. Because if I say I have the most, I would be lying because I was stuck to what I ordered and what came to the shop
it's what
and
appealed
where
to
I
you.
was.
Yeah, you couldn't hop when
Yeah.
they didn't have that luxury.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah.
You understand? So they had that luxury of,
Moving around and
Yes.
getting a taste of everyone.
Yeah.
Right?
and everybody stays, because that's where I tell a lot of guys is, you know, the reason why there's too many DJs now and people trying to push in different sounds thinking it's new is because we used to do all this work for you guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We used to take out what needs to be played was brought in. What we think wouldn't work, we left it. And now what you guys did, it's you spiraled everything. It's you even brought those songs that we thought, this one, if it was in the shop, Nelko sale box.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Or people wouldn't even want to listen to that. I mean, think about it. It's you have a guy like Tavi and Marco, may his soul rest in
Yeah.
peace.
Rest in peace, Marco.
That when they walk into the shop, you need to switch off from your normal sounds. It moves on your shelves, your fast sellers.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want those things.
Yeah.
They say, bruh, keep me records. And you start thinking, ish, I would say they're not your average guy. He will take anything that walks in. They even went to G-Force. Remember Graham?
G-Force, yeah. Shout out to
So Graham used to actually, here's how things were at House Africa when I got there, right? Because I moved from Exquisite when this project started, my Wicked Sounds mid-tempo
compilation. Yeah.
So now it was part of the package for me. They said, we'll put you there because I was already playing at the club.
Oh,
Yes.
so when they recruited you to come to House Africa, they said, listen, part of the pack is that you're going to get to release this compilation.
You get to do albums.
Yeah, that's a step. Man.
Yeah,
You understand? And guys didn't like it that I was moving. You see, what I was saying with earlier on, it's some steps that you're gonna make in the industry. They're not gonna go down well with a lot of guys, your peers. Even like I gave you as a scope of the guys that we grew up with. Didn't like the fact that now you have a residency, you have a job. Now they started thinking, you owe them a favor, bro. You owe us a favor because you used to play off our stuff. You didn't own X, Y, Z. You understand? And they never came to the shop to support you. They say, hey, you, Mpiele records, I'm coming to buy. They actually went the opposite direction. You understand? So, enough of that. It's politics of
the game.
empty
Yeah, so
stomach.
now you are at House Africa.
Yes.
Ungenile, you are inside.
Yes.
And now you're selling records. Were you with Charlie B there, or did he come in later on?
Actually, I found Charlie there.
Okay.
Oh, yeah?
But before we get there, it's the reason why I moved to House Africa. It's not only that. Remember, YFM was moving from Betram's to Rosebank,
Rosebank, yeah.
right? So they needed someone to be a music compiler for them.
At Y?
Yeah.
What show is this? Oh,
Just for the
Yeah,
station.
for the
yeah.
station.
Yeah.
So Greg was working with Vinny doing the compiling sound for YFM. So they decided to give Iggy the job. Remember, he was a music
Yes,
compiler.
yeah.
Then he was moving from House Africa to YFM. So there was a gap. And for me to take that decision, I said, okay, let me take one more step. Remember, I moved from Pretoria to get to the step.
Yeah, because Iggy used to work for House Africa.
Yes.
Yeah.
You understand? So when Vinny approached me and said, hey, there's a gap there. Are you interested? I said, okay, what are you guys offering? You understand? So that's when they made an offer of album and all this. I said, okay, that's cool.
They sweeten the deal with
Yeah.
that.
You
It's a
understand?
cool deal.
It's a cool deal. You understand? So, and also we were moving to Canalita from LS. You understand? I said, no, that's... So now, it didn't sit well with the guys from Exquisite.
Exquisite Clan and the guys.
Yeah. And Kuze, Del Kuze.
Del Kuze, yeah.
And Positive K. I
Yeah.
was working with them. You understand? So,
Shout out to Carla, man.
yeah. No, this one, I think it's the brains behind. He's the best DJ ever for me.
Oh yeah.
It's one guy that he would. It's not genre based up till today.
Yeah.
You can't
The
put him.
second time this comes up.
Yeah, it's you can't say to label him as a deep house DJ
Yeah.
because his placing in the mixing. They're perfect.
Yeah.
He reads the drums well. You understand? Because mixing is all in the drum. You understand? So his progression is, for me, is the best in the world, not only locally.
Wow.
Shout out.
And I'm
Positive
not
K.
scared to say he can go anywhere and rock the crowd.
Yeah.
Bakala.
Yeah, because he was that person. It's because remember us, ne? Those who transcend from hip hop, mid tempo into house.
Yeah.
Then
And
you
a
start,
little bit of quiet.
Right.
yeah. And now, when you start your house mixes or started getting to the house part,
Yeah.
you start coming in slow. You understand?
Yeah.
You play 114, 116
Yeah.
every first beat.
Yeah.
Say, bro, edanyana two nyana.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So you get to balance the two because you switch off at times.
Yeah.
You forget, hey, now I'm playing house music and I need to up
The
play.
tempo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the energy.
Yes.
You need to lift the energy. You forget.
Yes.
And it's not that it's the same as when you listen to music too much. Let me say you're buying records and I give you 50 records, right? You end up taking wrong.
I want cost. I got 50
Yeah.
records.
No, it's along the way you end up buying something that you feel, hey man, how did I buy this record?
This, yeah.
It's because you're hearing, your ear warms up and it gets hot. Now anything goes. Even in studio, they'll tell you guys that you work in. That's why I ended up not going into studio and making music. Because you find your winning formula and the drum the music that works for you and you want to stay there.
Yeah.
And later the sound changes. And it's a problem for you to adjust.
But you're still influenced by what you know.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
You understand? You get stuck there. That's why you find a lot of guys, hey, they become one-hit wonders because of that. It's you get stuck to that element that works for you, the winning formula, of which music is not like
And they
that.
told them music has progressed
Yes.
from that sound.
Yes. But you find tracks that are timeless. That's the balance that you need to strike. Some people have the talent to move with the times or change.
Or create new sounds.
Yes.
Yeah.
New sounds. Like, I think Louis
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an example of
what we're talking
someone
about.
who's able to transcend.
Yes.
Yeah.
He
Because
can give
if you go through your Louis collection,
Yeah, yeah.
you'll
It's
be
not
like,
the same
"Oh,
sound."
Changed. Like it's
Guys-
digressed to what he's doing now.
Yeah. And I believe he can still come up with a new sound.
Yeah. Definitely.
And he can give it to you in any tempo.
Shout out to Louis, man. He was
Louis
there.
is the man.
He's here in
Yeah,
SA, or
yeah,
is he
yeah,
gone
yeah.
already?
He's gone. No, he's gone.
Yeah.
And what I like about him is I don't think we've given him the right platform to showcase.
To showcase.
Because for me, it's if he can make down tempo stuff, and I've never heard him playing it when he's down here. You understand? He gets right into it. He gets stuck into it, and he moves with the flow. So maybe in one of the good days, we'll come back and just start from the beginning.
And you allow him, you give him a
Yeah.
good 5-6
Even more
hours.
than that, man.
Yes.
Yeah, even 10 hours straight of Louis,
Yeah.
and then you'll get to hear his sound.
Yes, because now I think also we're talking about this 1 hour set. Do you remember?
Yeah, yeah.
It's how then do you get to that level when now the energy is high?
Yeah.
When it takes you like 20 minutes to warm up.
At least.
At least 20 minutes.
At least. Because your first 2 tracks are key, right? So then first 2 is 10 minutes gone.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So it's like a 50.
Yeah. In that 50, then how do you then get the
That's
energy?
difficult.
To there, yeah.
That's difficult. By the time you get to it, say Mtaka next to you.
He's ready to
I hammer.
Yeah.
I hammer.
Yeah.
Or XA out here.
Nakweka is so fail.
That's why you get a lot of DJs. It's after an hour, I said, one more.
Yeah. Because
And you can't blame him.
Yeah.
It's now I'm starting to getting into my
warm
groove.
up now.
I'm in my groove now. So now you get cut.
1 hour sets need to fall.
Please, man, those 1 hour sets, please, no more. We like just give a guy at least minimum 2 hours.
Yeah, too. But also the problem is now people are used to it. That's the trick. It's when you're sitting there for an hour and you're playing something that doesn't suit them, especially when you mixing piano with house. You get the
Yeah,
Feels like
because
it's
they don't enjoy
long.
it.
Yeah.
Why change DJ?
Nah, man. Yeah, I
You
hear
understand? You get stuck with those things. It's now people that go out there, they dictate who plays and what you play. Even promoters,
Yeah.
they're into that. And for me, it's they're using that, they're leveraging off that. That these guys are confused. Let's just hammer it. You understand?
Even the way they book and they sequence DJs in terms of their times, it doesn't speak to the gig, because you'll find they'll put so and so and it doesn't speak to the next guy. This next guy doesn't want to compliment the next guy because he wants to shine, and it just becomes a mess.
You remember that part we talked about? The frequency.
Frequency. Yes.
AKA ego.
AKA NH.
Yeah. So for me, it's also, we're talking about lineups, like you're saying. It's, for me, I look at it, it's house and deep house and all that. On big gigs, they have a time limit where they said, hey, it's a cutoff for this. Now it's piano, all this, the mix. Because it's not about the night anymore. It's about keeping people happy. And I still believe, people adapt very quickly to sound.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to educate people about musically, they might get you in the first 30 minutes, right? Or last 30 minutes. That's a fact as a DJ. It's, you plan your set, or you know where to place certain songs, right? Obviously, if you're playing, I've got 10 new tracks that you never heard. I shouldn't be scared to play them, because now people will clear the dance floor. You understand? People adapt. That's why your first 2 tracks are very key. If you can place 2 good tracks in the beginning, don't be scared to lose the floor. I think that's something that you should be
very
preaching.
important, yes.
You should be preaching, don't be scared to lose because you're playing new music.
Because people are going to go away. Now the dance floor is empty.
Yeah. No, they're scared.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
now
so
you also get scared.
I was about to say, you as a DJ as well, you get scared because now you've cleared the dance floor and it looks like
Are you playing wrong music?
you're playing rubbish.
Because you're trying to build your own from scratch. Your vibe, your sound.
And you get the promoter that say, change your music, change your sound.
Did you see the guy before you?
Yeah.
And I know you're scared of not getting booked again. That's a fear that we teach people that, like I was saying, it's, you're only going to get a chance when you're open to doing opening slots. Even if you want to rock the crowd, You know, you want to be at the main, played at the main slots. But unfortunately, you're not gonna get there now. I always tell them I'm gonna be fair enough and said that's where we paved our way. Even us, I played like for close to 25 to 20 years as an opening DJ.
set.
I was opening like from your, you know, you remember the Channel O
Yeah.
House Explosion.
Yeah, the compilation.
Yes.
Yeah.
When we were launching it, I've been playing opening sets till from then. You can ask. That's how I got to. People label you. They associate you with Vinny and Chris because of you used to do opening sets for them. You understand? And they liked it because I was good at it.
At opening.
Yes.
And because, you know, people always say the guy that does the opening set sort of creates the mood for the
pulse,
entire.
yeah, the
You're the
pulse
one
of the
that's
party.
creating
Yeah, man.
the party. This is the direction we're going.
And you can lose. You can also break it
Yeah.
at the same time, because imagine now you are the first DJ and people are walking in, and by the way, at Canalita, that's where if the club was opening at 7, 6 o'clock, you had queues. People queuing,
They're ready.
ready to get in. Once you open the door, everybody to the dance floor. So you are not scared to stick to your plan and say, okay, I'm not gonna change because people just walked in and now the dance floor, it's, you know, it's packed. And you knew when to say, okay, hey gents, who's the next DJ? Even if it's after 3 hours, or they will come to you now, play an extra hour. You are not scared because now they're looking also at the time frame. It's okay. Remember also changing the licensing of clubbing also killed us, in a sense that we were used to 6 to 6.
Limited to 2.
Now it's 2 o'clock. Now what happens is, back then people used to start going out about 9, 10.
Yeah.
You understand? You go back, chase a spanning, freshen up.
Put the kids to sleep.
Yes. That's why, yeah. Some parents, they still groove Kachego based on time frame.
Yeah.
Because why? They were given time. No, it's gents, 12 o'clock or 2 o'clock, we channel to.
Now we need to be at our up tempo because that's like the closing. Now we need to be.
Yes, and you need to pick up the tempo ka 7. Whereas back then, ka 7, it was still the building.
Yeah.
You understand? So now, you look at the way things went, it's the certain sound now that needs to be cancelled.
Doesn't get a chance to be played.
Yeah, because of time.
Because of
factor.
time. Now, if you look at what Shimza and Black Cove and all these guys that are exploring their trade overseas are bringing down here, they will never fit. Based on that, there's nothing wrong that they're doing. It's just that the timing. Because that sound from 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock at
It's the
in the morning.
It's the perfect time
it's
for
the
it.
perfect time for it to
Yeah.
take you to 7 o'clock or
Yeah.
to 6 o'clock.
Yes.
So now imagine bringing that sound forth to 10 o'clock.
And say you need to play this at 10.
It won't work.
And some of us are not drunk enough. You know, we're not like deep into
I
it
was
enough.
just saying,
So
I also really 10 joints.
Yeah.
You understand? And for me, it's, we need to fix that. And believe me, if we can fix that, we'll create more jobs. Think about it. We'll create more jobs. Because these Afro-tech DJs that we have, there's a lot of them. Right? What are you playing? I'm playing Afro-tech. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. but placement is gonna kill you.
It's what's gonna kill you.
You
Because
understand?
that music is for
Later.
late,
Yeah.
and you're only gonna do that at
Yes.
10.
And the other thing is with that sound, it's because of that time issue that we have. Now everything went to small areas, your Shisanyama, your restaurants, and I see a lot of it happening now. Is people are moving towards owning restaurants, investing into restaurants. Why? Because now it's becoming smaller.
Contained.
You understand? It's bottleneck. Where now we need to create revenue because now big gigs are not happening because of that as well. You can't host a big gig. For example, what happened to your freshers balls? You understand?
About TNT.
Yeah.
Hey, my man.
It's because of that. It's
Medunza.
yeah. You understand? So if we can go back to our old licensing, we'll create more jobs, and also it will work better with tourism. Because remember, in Devon, I don't think that law applies. Sorry, and Cape Town.
It's a 6 o'clock license. No?
Yeah, the old ones, they're still there.
But now, how do you? Yes, it's probably limited. I think the only club, and I could be wrong here, and maybe it doesn't happen anymore, is Truth in Midrand.
Yes,
Because Truth, you can go until 6 a.m, but I don't know if it still happens.
it's an older license.
Yeah.
They even changed it.
Also demographics as well. I suppose. Because Truth is a little bit more in
the
It's not only Truth.
industrial-
It's a couple. It's a couple of old clubs. I'm sure if you find that guy that used pink what? There's a club that used to. It's not Pink Cadillac, man. It's where the other JZD used to play.
Okay.
Razzmatazz, not Razzmatazz.
No. Anyway,
Yeah.
those clubs, they still have the old licenses.
Oh, you mean like they still exist today?
No, they haven't changed. Remember, it's you. Those who were operating on that, you can't take them back to the new one, or you can't force them to change.
But so the fundamental idea here, Kanunu, is you're saying we need to go back to that clubbing experience,
Yes.
which allowed you to party until 6 in the
Yes.
morning, right?
We don't have it.
We don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
But the way that we can do it, sorry, I'm going to finish my point now. The way that we can do it is by identifying those places that have that license and possibly start doing events at those places.
Not necessarily even, just having them to operate as your normal club. That's the only way you can. Remember, we're doing it every week.
Yeah.
You understand? People get used to
So
it.
we close at 6 every time.
Yes, 6 to 6.
Yeah.
And remember, there was no sit-ins where you go. Remember now, let me put it this way. Not remember, actually. This is where we at now, right? Where people are used to, oh, there's an event. You buy your ticket, you get there, you buy your drinks before you even dance. You buy you order whatever you need, food if you're hungry, and drinks before you can hit the dance floor. Now, clubbing was like this. You walk in, you dance.
Straight to the dance floor.
You understand? You see, you go to the bar later.
And also the lighting. No?
Yes.
Very dark in there. It's about dancing.
And,
We don't care how you dressed. We don't, we just
Yeah.
go in there and dance.
And the DJ was never the best dressed guy. Because you can't be playing 3 hours ka hempe. Alien clipped godimo.
And the tie.
Yeah, and a tie.
Ulibrako.
Yeah, ole brago. Or waperi flosham.
Yeah. Pula.
Hey, it's pool.
Or sharp nose eye.
Imagine the DJs, my man, they are Italian.
It's the look.
They'll kill you, my
Yeah.
man, with their clothing.
It's for an hour.
Even the drinks, the drinks must be seen there. What kind of brand they're drinking?
But I suppose that's something totally maybe out of the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? But Mina, what I'm particularly, drumming on is this idea that you're bringing forth now, Kanunu. You know, the culture is not dance culture anymore.
Yes.
We call it dance culture, but it's
No.
not dance culture.
There's no culture.
You know, we are there to just sit, eat, you know, drink,
Window
and
dressing.
then it's in the background. You know what I'm saying? Whereas before, people were going into a club to go listen to music. And I mean, listen. You know, I'm there to listen, and I've got no place to sit. I'm going to stand there. If I'm tired, I'm going to stand and listen to what is. That culture is gone. So we're not consuming music. Music is just in the background.
Not only in the background, it's now music. It's DJing is not music driven now. Let's put it that way. It's fashion kind of
Lifestyle.
lifestyle. But you can't. It's lifestyle events that we're hosting now. You understand? There's nothing wrong with lifestyle events.
But then someone like Piquet, the Italian, comes into the picture.
No.
Where, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah,
actually,
you know, Piquet is about style.
Yeah.
It's about dressing up. But you're also going to dance.
yes.
And also, he closes 6
At
as well.
6,
But
right?
it's a once a year type of event. So as opposed to every weekend.
Yeah.
Hence, I'm saying you need to tapping into those old clubs and resuscitate them because they have those licenses. That I'm sure of because the owners. It's like your title deed. You understand? You have that, and nobody can dispute that.
Club Pelican.
Yeah, Pelican. That's what I was looking for.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, when you're
You're saying
yeah,
Pelican.
yeah,
You're saying
yeah.
Pelican,
The
yeah.
Pelican, yeah.
Pelican in Orlando.
Orlando, yeah. Because those clubs, the license
But
allows
also
them.
demographics again. Look at it.
True.
It's a mafemi.
It's semi-femi.
It's away from residential.
But I mean, that's always been the culture here.
Yes.
Warehouse. We were warehouse music. We were in the industrial warehouse areas. We
Yeah.
could bang the sound out loud.
Garage
Yeah.
in the US.
UK. No.
US.
Yeah.
It's the
Speaker.
US.
So
Paradise
Paradise
Garage.
is warehouse. Yeah.
Garage and
yeah.
the warehouse.
Yeah, and the warehouse.
Well, those are the
A lot
first
of guys
places.
sing about that because this original origin of dance music.
House
Yeah, of
music,
dance music.
yeah.
Yeah,
Dance
of course.
music.
Even the name
Yeah.
house music comes from those
Warehouse
places. Yeah.
music.
Yes,
Yeah.
it started out in the homes, the garages and the barbecues. You understand? In the US. Then they
And we
took
also had electric workshop here.
Yeah.
that's where the idea came from.
But do you think it can go back? Because I don't think the promoters of our age now are speaking to that type of mentality. Because if you look at the promoters of back then, they were talking to this culture that we're talking about, warehouse
growing
culture.
the culture.
Yeah, you know. Here now, people are like, you know,
It's what's happening.
Could be
It's-
that maybe we're stuck in the old school.
maybe
we don't
yeah,
want to move with
we
the
don't want to
times.
move with the times. You know.
That's where the power of gatekeeping comes in.
Mm.
We were chatting about it earlier on. It's sometimes people say, no, there's gatekeepers here. There's no gatekeeping. It's people that are overseeing the whole culture. You understand? And without culture, we're doomed. Like now, if you could say, okay, who's going to take this dance culture forward from where it is now? Name one. From the youngsters that are coming. Because they don't have the background. Like you're saying, the promoters, they don't understand the culture. You understand? Of what the clubbing culture. You understand? So someone understands that what's happening on the scene, what's happening on social media, what makes people tick. We work on those now. Forget the culture. Now, when you turn your back and say, okay, I want to do this, you find people that have been doing it for years and they're very strict or militant of decision making of what comes in, what goes out. And the same thing happens in Europe. I'm sorry to say that. Even if you think locally it's hampering your growth as a DJ, but overseas is worse, whereby you get someone that monitors. I even mentioned it's even the quality of sound that you bring to the dance floor as a DJ. A person like Carl Cox can't be playing 128 kilobytes on 3D sound system.
Sound quality poor.
It'll tell you.
You'll also, as a DJ, you feel I've lost something. The energy is not there.
So it has to be 320 up.
Not even 320.
But let's say the entry level should be at least 320.
No, 320 is still allowed.
Yeah.
But most DJ, because now remember they will tell you on a 4 rig. When I say a 4 rig, it's the amount of sound that they have in a club.
Yeah.
Some will tell you, will give you that spec. Okay, 320 is allowed here because it's a 4 rig.
Yeah.
Now you get a 6-8 or 10 rig where you have like now 10,000 people.
Yeah.
320 vanishes, bro.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
Gets swallowed.
It gets swallowed.
Could it be also format? Maybe instead of MP3s, maybe you're going wave.
No, most guys, like I know Nati plays, Nati when he's overseas, he plays mostly on wave.
Nothing but wave.
Nothing but wave. No, you get it from original sound from the studio. You understand? And it makes business sense for them. Even Louis, he'll give you IMF file.
Yeah, is it AIIF?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You understand?
High quality.
High quality. You get it to its level best. You understand? Straight from the studio onto the dance floor.
Yeah, you know what? I think
we've deviated from.
Yeah. I'm happy with this conversation. I like it. It's dope because also we need to the young DJs that are watching and listening. They need to understand these type of things. You know that if you take him from a club and you say to him, look, I'm gonna book you. I'm taking you to a festival, right? A festival no music he converted from MP4 to MP3 from YouTube.
Or he downloaded from YouTube and
he converted it into an audio and then now he's going to play it because that's the song that is rocking at the time. It won't make sense with the bigger sound system. So the best thing is that you always have to buy your music and you always have to buy it.
Support the trade.
Support the trade. Yeah. Because we've really a bit digressed a bit, and so I would like for us to maybe try and go back a bit once you got into House Africa, and then you got the deal, and then you got a YFM deal. So now you're compiling music at YFM.
No, it was Iggy.
Iggy went to Y.
He basically replaced Iggy at House Africa.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So now, when I got there, you said, did I find Charlie?
Charlie B. MC Charlie B.
No, when I got there, I found Charlie and Warren.
Oh yeah,
Warren, yeah.
What happened to Warren?
They both got married.
Oh yeah.
We
once tried to get Charlie,
yeah,
but I don't think he's interested. Yeah.
I know. I think he's moved on.
Yeah.
He's married with kids.
Yeah.
They're not like us. We still do it.
Even now.
For the culture. Yeah.
I found them there.
So you were in this floor with Bravini, and Charlie was and Warren they were on the other side, right?
Yeah, and Graham was mainly on the UK side.
Yeah.
Now everything was based on territories.
Yeah. This is now House Africa, right?
Yes.
First compilation is out.
Out.
It's the mid-tempo, yeah?
Yeah. And we were saying, it was the day of the recording. Yes, we were talking too much, guys. So, the day of the recording, when I walked into the studio, it was...
The club, because you recorded it?
At the shop.
Okay.
They wanted me to record...
Or at the shop?
At the shop.
Yeah.
Louis Both.
Is that where you were recording all your compilations at the shop?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So
all those compilations, House Africa, all of them?
All of them.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if...
Hot Grooves as well.
I'm not sure if all was recorded there. I'm talking about the projects
when you were there, yeah. Okay.
Projects that I did, I didn't want to record them at the shop.
Why?
I wanted the whole feel.
So that's why you ended up at Carnalita.
I said, you can ask Billy. I said, I looked at them. It was him and Tim.
Yeah.
I said, the first mix, I didn't feel that. You understand?
Yeah.
Second one, I said, I call Chris to open the club.
I will do it from there.
I'll do it from there. Because remember, with mid-tempo, everything becomes heavy.
Yeah.
Because you took something from the original speed, slowed it down, everything is heavy. And it's analog at the same time. So the bass that was coming out, it was small speakers like this.
Studios be monitored.
Didn't
Yeah.
give you that effect.
Not
that
even
you
studio,
wanted.
it's like, I think it was 40 watts.
Yeah, no, okay.
It was more of a listening. Because they were clued up with, handling the speakers
Yeah.
when they're recording. But I wasn't. And I wasn't comfortable to do that there.
You wanted sound.
I wanted where I used to play the sound.
He wants to go into familiar
Yes.
territory where you rock the crowd. and
Yes.
It feels like you're rocking for a crowd. Yeah.
And lucky enough, he was willing to do that for me.
Nice one.
Then I remember he was, shame, I put a strain on the guy. The guy was like walking up and down.
Who's this, Christos?
Walking on the couch, sleeping, and I was busy recording. If I didn't like the mix, he would stop. Let's redo it. And I'll call him, we'll do it. So it was recorded live.
And that's in real time. Imagine you stop at 40 minutes to go back to 1 minute.
You'll make that mistake when you're recording. Remember, it's empty, and you're hearing everything clearer. You know, when people are packed, you'll make a mistake and nobody will pick it up.
Yeah, sure.
You understand? Or something will go wrong, and you have a way of
Fix,
covering
move,
that.
move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now, when there was only two of us, then he was walking around doing his thing. I was busy mixing the whole thing, song after song. And by that time, you're recording them from your decks onto the dead machine.
Yeah, yeah.
You understand?
dead,
Yeah. So now, even moving, transitioning speed-wise, picking up the pace, you do it live. Only way there was like mistakes that you make, will go and fix that.
In post.
Yeah. You see? So that's the only project that I recorded live in a club. And I really enjoyed it till today because it was recorded on 4 basements.
I knew the sound in
It was
Canalita was
heavy.
something else, man.
much.
Yeah.
It was too much. Then we opened that sound for the day.
So what was the next one after that? Was it the House Africa Volume 1? What was it? What is it? What is it? Is House Africa Volume
It was, I think from there we went to
Buzzing Fly?
Buzzing Fly
Yeah.
with Benoit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There, and that's where I actually challenged myself a lot because now that was a new sound and people were not familiar with it. They were not to look when Buzzing Fly was introduced. Their first single was that
001.
No, 005. Was it? What's that song?
Justin Martin.
Justin Martin.
Yeah.
No? Was it? No, man. It's 005.
Yeah, that piano track.
Sad Piano.
Sad piano.
Hey, don't record this part because we just missing the point. I don't remember. It's not those.
Okay, I think because we've got a lot of enthusiasts and people who are
Yeah.
from that culture, they will correct us.
They'll correct
us.
They'll correct us, yeah.
So it was zero. I remember the number. Buzzing Fly 005.
Yeah.
So now, by then it was very popular. I forgot. I will remember. Then they gave me their whole catalog, and there was this other sounds that
Yeah. I can imagine.
that were they gave me upfront. Those were those released before, and the challenge was to come up. You can use all those old tracks, but you still need to sound fresh. Like place them in such a way that this project is new, just from the studio. And the challenge was people were not, by that time, everybody was into Afro, I remember. your War, the Gregories and all those, and you get given this project that is more like now for your house heads. And I pulled it through, right? In a sense that it worked. For me, until today, you can play that project and it's relevant. It is. You understand? Then moved to Hot Grooves was more, that's when now local production was getting to...
Being introduced there.
Did you do both volume 1 and 2?
Yes. So that's where I got to meet rhythmic elements.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Those guys, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, there's the story behind those guys. It's something to talk about for ages, because the song that I liked from them was Spirit of the Warrior.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I didn't know of the 2x2s
Yeah.
and Hello Mister and all those. Yeah. Spirit of the Warrior.
Yeah.
It was on that comp.
Those
And
those
because
songs were
we're
big,
now
yeah.
we're now what was happening then is you ought to have on your comp a local
balance.
touch
Yeah.
and international.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And make them work.
Yeah.
And that's a nice thing about comps then, because now they were educational and also showed a lot of guys that, listen, local production is
It's on the come up.
Yeah. So that song, Spirit of the Warrior, when I first heard it, it was at a house party. Someone's house party and in Rustenburg. And a friend of mine, Ivan.
Yeah.
I didn't know
The
about
DJ?
him. Yeah, Ivan
yeah.
Smith.
Evan Smith, yeah. Shout out to
Evan
Evan Smith, yeah.
Yeah. He played that song. We played, and he played it right at the end when, when everybody's about to leave. And finished playing, he was playing middle of a set, he dropped the song. And I'm listening to the song and said, yo, automatically you start having ideas. So that's what I like about, I think that's my strong point as well. And something that kept me in the industry till today. It's there's certain songs that you'll hear and already you have projection of this song. At least if you've said it didn't do well, it's when you reached 10,000. Remember then we were talking about 10 to 40 going forth. Copies.
Units, yeah.
Yeah. You understand? So for me, that song was huge. And remember now he's playing it to only few guys. And it's only us.
Like, party's fizzling out.
Yeah. You understand?
So yeah, you manage then to get things like rhythmic elements, and now you started to intro a lot of the local content into your compilations, right?
Yes.
And what happened at Coco House Africa? Did you leave House Africa, or was it a question of, guys, the business is not making sense, we're closing down? What happened?
Actually, I would say we were, I don't know, but we were the last record shop standing after everybody shut down.
Including Soul Candy, yeah?
Yeah. Because remember, we started selling records at the Carlton Center. In the center.
Yeah. Remember, I remember.
So we pushed it all the way. We pushed it all the way, and we were selling records there.
Was it the same time when Pezulu Records was there?
No,
you mean before?
No, at the end.
So right at the end. So I think even after Pezulu
closed as well.
Everybody just closed down, and myself and Tim, we came to a point. Listen, we can't let's push it and see how far we can go. Then we went to Carlton Center. I think we stayed there for 3 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm.
That's after 2010.
Mm.
You understand? So from there, we decided, look, there's nothing more we can do. And that's when they took the label and started doing the hit refresh.
Oh yeah, with
Now,
DJ Strategy.
A lot
Shout
of
outs to DJ Strategy,
a
man.
lot of guys don't. I believe Tim is one person that gave birth to piano.
Oh yeah.
Yes, he used
So I
to
think
play.
he was one of the first people to play it. I think
Yes.
he played it even at the warm-up around 2012, 2013.
Yes, and he was playing it live on Hit Refresh, wearing a sporty.
Here, man. At the tempo that it's at.
Yes, Hit Refresh. Before he was doing house, no, Mzansi House.
Mzansi House.
Then he brought in Inner Soul and Kabza. That's when he was playing piano because Vinny was saying, me, I can play this thing.
Well, he still says that today.
Yeah, me, I can play this thing.
Yeah.
You understand? So,
But he
Tim took-
appreciates it.
Yeah. Tim took it upon himself. I remember watching him on Hit Refresh. Hey, what's with the sporty now? But he was trying to give you the side, the vision that he's seeing in the music today.
Shout out to Tim, man.
Tim White, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo,
So we just decided now we've pushed this scene this far.
To its very last
Yeah. Drop.
did you ever maybe get to a point where you stopped DJing at all?
Yes.
Why? And how long?
Whew, I tried, but it couldn't leave me. It was ingrained in my DNA, where I looked for a job. I had a 9 to 5 where I was doing shipping in Rosebank, just opposite Rosebank. There's these white buildings that on the other side, not the side. As you go in one Young Smarts, and those roads. Yeah.
Oh, there's a bank. There's a
Yeah.
Standard Bank. Yeah.
No, that's before you get to Kaya FM.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that side.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that side.
Right here on
Yeah.
your left. Yeah.
So there, what happened is that's after moving from Carlton Center.
Carlton Center. Yeah.
So Tim said, okay, what we can do is let's see where to put it. But meantime, it's Dana,
The
Dana's
wife.
brother, was doing shipping company.
Also, yeah, it's an e-commerce sort of company.
Yeah.
that-
So I was doing that, loading containers. Yeah.
And then you stopped DJing.
I left it
Completely.
Yeah, I was just listening to music, collecting. I'll do that for now. But people will say, hey, come and play. Then the passion kicked in
Again.
Then we ended up going back. Because by then, I think the transition wasn't great for a lot of guys.
Yeah.
To close shop
Yeah.
and now go digital. And now it was too much.
I know. We speak to a lot of those guys here on the show that had to lose their
We lost a lot of
you know,
things.
means of making money and means of production
Yeah.
because from moving to analog to digital.
Yeah.
The industry was dictating
Industry.
otherwise. Yeah.
And for me, I think basically we lost the selling point of the music industry because then everything went digital and file sharing became a norm.
Yeah.
You understand? Now the producers are crying, not us.
Yeah.
Because now
Yeah.
there's no you produce a song to promote yourself.
Not for sales.
Not
and
for
people
Not
sales.
for
to-
sales, yeah. So you can get gigs to go DJ.
Yes. You understand? And for me, music has been always about revenue. Even DJing. If you're buying music, you have to play somewhere. And the frustration in that is everything stopped. And now people were interested in different sounds. Not the sounds that you guys used to listen to or we used to order and all that. See?
So do you? I mean, you've obviously gone back to DJing, but is it to the magnitude that it was back then, or are you just going with the flow?
No, now I'm more focused on the academy that we're running.
With DJ Christos?
Yes.
Okay.
What's the name of the school?
It's a DJ Christos Music Academy.
Right. You're a lecturer, head lecturer.
Yes.
Okay.
With Sake.
It's myself, Linda, and Chris. She runs the marketing side of it.
Okay.
You see. So that's where I'm at, and I will never fight to be on gigs, anyone's gig.
Okay.
Because I feel nowadays it's on face value. It's not about talent, how this one can rock that. It's on face value. And now it's also your price tag is on there. Said, Brian mo for 60, 5 clip petrol.
Ish. And you know when you're not worth that, bro.
Yeah. And they know you'll never say yes.
Yeah.
You
It's
see?
true. So it's like they find a way to
They
cut
find
you
out.
out, yeah.
And people that are dictating terms are promoters. It's funny enough. You don't have a say. They even tell you when to play and how to play.
And what to play.
I remember someone was telling me a story. Someone booked Glenn and said, "Can you please play me tempo?"
But
Now.
Now.
When he played that thing to the depth back in the day,
And you know
still
Glenn.
want him to play it.
And you know Glenn.
yeah,
So
you can't really tell him.
no, yeah, it pissed me off. Pissed him off big time. So we at that level where now promoters are running the industry.
But you are open to take gigs, right?
Yes.
As long as it's to what you want, what you would like to
Man, I
be.
mean, it's a skill, it's a talent, it's what he knows how to do. You can't tell him how to do it.
But also we need to be careful that we don't outprice ourselves from the market that's
I
left.
wonder what's outpricing, my man. Like,
It's all relative, I
It's-
suppose, you know.
It's look, we need to be fair enough that the industry has shrunk. You'll be lucky if you play every day to 500 to 1,000. Because remember, everything went to your shesanyamas, your restaurants. If you have 100 to 200, it looks busy. But you don't know what's happening to the guy that organized the whole thing. Because now you need to hire not only the DJs, it's the camera, it's for social media and influencers to get people there. So now for me it's have your fixed amount but be flexible.
yeah.
That's what I mean. It's outpricing. I mean, you can't go now, I want 10K, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
We're not at that level that we used to when promoters knew this is the budget that I need to have for DJs. They play around with it. Some guys will go to an extent of saying, you play today, you get paid in 7 days.
We have to reconcile. We have to.
Yeah, bana.
It's now being so that's why I'm saying, it's one stress that you don't want to be
Associated with.
or Monday calling the promoter. You were one of those DJs that were busy. Yeah. You were busy from Thursday to Sunday, but Monday you're asking for 200 petrol.
No, that's crazy, man.
That's why it said people are not saying it. I mean, even guys that look busy, they'll never tell you that, hey, I have to find petrol money
To get to the gig.
to get to the gig. You understand? Then they tell you invoice us. It's like you're running a tender now.
Yes. And wait for your payment.
Ow, banna. What happened to pay the contracts before?
Yeah. Once you say contract, yeah, they run away.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, oh, this one wants to tie me down. Anyway, I just want to ask you just a couple of things before we close. Your top 5 DJs of all time. Obviously, you've mentioned Positive K is your number 1.
Yeah.
So outside of Positive K, just top 5 best DJs.
I can't mention my name. I'm joking.
It's up to you, man.
It's your top 5, my king.
Look, for me, I would say him. People that have been loyal to the sound. It's him, it's Nasty Nev, it's... I just froze. No comment.
All right.
We'll take that.
We'll take that, man. Look, Kanunu, I think we are really out of time. I wish we could have been able to sit with you and chat for longer. I think we'll make space at some point for you to come and chat, because I think there's a lot that you need to open up about the industry as well. But
we never got there.
yeah, we really thank you for your time.
Thank you, bro.
We rate you amongst the legends.
Yeah.
In the game. What you've done to the industry, you selling us records at House Afrika, man. You've given us some of the best records that we've ever had, that I own personally.
Almost all of us have stuff that we got from your hands.
Thank you for for your smiles. Every time we got to the shop, every time we ran into gigs, every time we run into gigs, even now.
Thank you.
You've got that infectious smile, and I love that about you, man.
Thank you, bro.
Keep being the brother that you are.
Thank you.
And we wish you nothing but the best, all the best in the DJing school. And that's it from me. I don't know about you, Ntwana.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Just to make people to be aware that the guy is available for bookings.
Yeah.
Hit him up. And this is a legend, so you won't have to worry about nothing.
Yeah.
Just give the guy what he's worth.
Yeah, and his sound is impeccable. You hear this guy play Soulful House, your heart gets warm, man. Hear him play Deep House, but for me personally, I love it more when you play the soul, man. That soul touches me. It touches me. I'm like, this dude, man.
I call it the
legendary.
signature.
Yeah.
It's something that, look, the sound is evolved so much, and now we're back almost where we started,
full circle, right?
We lost the analog, went digital. Now we regaining analog.
Yeah.
And for me, it's soul is still there.
Yeah.
If it can't touch your soul, I don't think you stay long in the game.
If it ain't so, we just don't do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it comes with different facets, different tempo. It's the understanding of the type of sound that you wanna, your niche. I call it your niche, and I always tell a lot of guys that it starts with getting your niche, then you can polish it.
Yeah.
If you don't have it, unfortunately, you'll be going with the trends. If they say this is the new sound, you go there. When you get bored, you need to change and go there. But unfortunately, if you find your niche, you'll weather the storm with it.
Sweet, man.
Kanunu,
Thank you, brother.
thank you, Mpichak.
Voila.
You know.
Another episode of HertzNTales coming to an end, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching. We will see you on the next episode. Don't forget, to like, subscribe, and show some love. We appreciate those comments, by the way.
Those comments,
keep them coming, Buffett.
Honest comments, we love that stuff, guys. And I know there's a lot of you who are suggesting other DJs. We see it. We speak to them. We will give you who is available. Thank you. We appreciate
From
you.
the M Studios in Newtown, Buffett, we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you, Sanganyo.
Thank you.
Sure.